Las Vegas has said goodbye to many icons, and now it's time for the Tropicana to take its final bow.
2:37 a.m. That's when the explosives in the Paradise Tower will go off.
FOX5 shows what's being done to preserve the history and what it takes to bring it all down in just 22 seconds.
They're going to be setting their charges off on how the building sits and where they want it to fall.
FOX5 special coverage of the Tropicana implosion, sponsored by United Nissan, starts now.
And welcome inside the FOX5 studios as we get ready to say goodbye to the historic Tropicana Hotel and Casino. I'm John Huck.
And I'm Joe B. Hill. Over the next hour, we will show you every angle leading up to the Trop's final moments and give you an insider's look at all of the work that goes into something like this.
And FOX5 has you completely covered on all this with Kim Passoff, Sean Dowling, and Jacqueline Schultz. And that's where we begin this morning with Jacqueline.
67 years of history coming down in just 22 seconds. That's how long it's going to take for both these towers to come down. For the past 6 months, in April up to now, there has been a lot of steps taken to prepare for the grand finale.
What kid doesn't want to blow something up? Sounds simple. It's not that simple. You've really got to learn the trade, and you've got to bring good people in.
From the day the Tropicana Hotel shut down to what you see now, crews have been hard at work making the 67-year-old property a shell of its former self. It has to be a shell for everyone's safety during the 22-second implosion.
Imagine if we left all the rooms intact, on that soft debris material would fly out. Don't want that.
Triple G Demolition has been leading the charge every step of the way. First, starting in April, crews had to strip the walls and treat the asbestos underneath. FOX5 showed you the first stages of prep work. Federal Occupational Safety and Air Quality Authorities oversaw the process to remove asbestos. Vince Gutierrez says there was very little then, and now none.
There is no more soft materials in there that might contain anything. It's down to steel and concrete.
On different floors, there's black curtains. They are covering the explosives. Their placement helps determine the direction the debris will fall. Taking a look at previous implosions, the direction the building comes down is all planned. 2:37 a.m. That's when explosives in the Paradise Tower will go off first. 3 seconds later, that's when the dynamite in the Club Tower will go off. The goal is for both buildings to collapse at the same time, and all the debris ends up here in the middle.
It's just a cascading from the outside in. They'll end up on the ground about the same time.
It's almost like a pancake.
Yes, it'll definitely be a big pancake. Both be on the ground within 22 seconds.
How big will the dust cloud be?
That's the million-dollar question.
And they described the dust cloud that we're going to see as a sandstorm coming at you. So they recommend that if you are anywhere around here, make sure to have your mask, an N95 mask, earplugs, goggles if you can. You want to be prepared for the dust cloud to protect your lungs and also protect your ears when the demolition and the implosion happens. Back to you.
Out with the old and in with the new. That is the motto here in Las Vegas, and we always go out with a bang. And we are your source for all of the action. We have you covered from every angle this morning.
Yes, as we wait for both of those two towers to fall. From the ground to the sky, FOX5's Ted Pretty has been flying high above the Las Vegas Strip all night long to bring us all the beauty shots from our FOX5 drone.
And Ted's here with us as we wait for the fireworks and the drone show to get underway this morning. Ted.
Hey, good morning, John and Joe. Yeah, I've been flying around all night and into this morning a little bit. Now, there's a temporary flight restriction that does go into place at 2 o'clock. So that came into play 2 minutes ago. Even though we have an authorization for this area, there are no drones allowed during this hazardous TFR or temporary flight restriction around. So no FOX5 drone flying, and probably shouldn't see any drones flying in the sky. But the Grucci firework family has been doing their thing for decades in the Las Vegas Valley, whether it's the 4th of July, New Year's Eve, or even casinos opening. And now an implosion of a casino. They're putting together both the fireworks and also expanded to drone shows now. So both of those will fly soon. Let's take a look right now live at the Tropicana. It's a huge production for the Grucci family. They've gotten 5,000 fireworks on top of the Tropicana towers. 550 drones, and 200 light fixtures to illuminate the buildings and make the show shine. So how do they get all those 5,000 fireworks to the top of the Trop? Well, the CEO of Fireworks by Grucci says the crew had to carry them up themselves.
The fireworks had to go up the old-fashioned way. Every flight of stairs of all 22 flights. Well, the boxes are about 40 pounds. So you get a workout. And you're very creative to make sure you do it just once.
So all of that work carrying up those 40-pound boxes up to the top of the Trop just for about 6 to 7 minutes of showtime. And Mr. Grucci there says that once that show just starts, everything else leaves his mind, and he's just in awe for those 6 or 7 minutes. And that's what we will witness coming up just shortly after 2:30 this morning, which is in about 24 minutes from now, guys.
They certainly got their cardio, but the whole country is going to enjoy it. There's a huge media presence down there ready to broadcast the images to the rest of the country and probably around the world. Ted, we thank you, and we'll check in with you in a bit. So with all the excitement, a lot of people want to witness this history, though, in person.
Indeed, Fox 5 Sean Dowling reports from the scene, who heard from those ready to take it all in.
It's a journey of emotions out here, from excitement to tears. And I do mean a journey, as locals, as well as people from the West Coast, East Coast, and all the way across the pond describe the feeling of watching the Tropicana come down. There was a sense of excitement from everyone we talked to, aside from one woman who didn't wish to go on camera, saying the city doesn't need any more stadiums. But speaking of venues, the Tropicana is a special place for Bill Kaparak of Seattle. Here's why.
Earlier this February, my wife and I got married, and then we came down here, and this wasn't officially our honeymoon, but we stayed here just after we got married, so unofficial honeymoon. So a couple tears were shed. We just did the circle to take pictures from all sides, so it's been kind of fun, kind of melancholy.
From one emotion to the next, it's pure nostalgia for Lee Hawkins, who made the journey to Vegas from just outside of London to watch it all come down.
One of the reasons I came this time was to see the implosion of the Tropicana. This is my 6th trip, I think, to Vegas, and it's an iconic hotel. I was here in May when they closed it, and they were starting to demolish it then. So just really following up on that and seeing, obviously, it through to the end.
Another person who's been coming to Sin City year after year is Robin Grunbaum from California. Robin tells us she was born when the Tropicana went up, and she's excited to see it come down, but says her view at the Luxor across the street could be better for the big boom.
It's hard to believe we're both this old, but we are. We've got a fabulous room. The only thing I wish they would have washed the windows because they're a little bit dirty, but our view is fantastic.
The view of the Strip will be completely different without the Tropicana, which is exactly why Matt Pertile from Pittsburgh says pulling an all-nighter is mandatory for such a momentous occasion, as the last implosion was a few years ago with the Riviera. Pertile has been coming to town for over a decade and is excited for the future of the city.
My brothers and I, we've been coming here for the last 12 years, and we always make our way. In fact, one of the very first places that we stayed was Luxor, and we always loved going over to the Tropicana to see the big white hotel. And now that it's coming down, I think it's important that we come and check it out, see some history.
And history is exactly what Julie Perdue, who's in a long line of tailgaters, wants to experience again, as she's seen the Stardust, Riviera, and Desert Inn come down. But this implosion has her more pumped and prepared than ever.
I love it. I actually ditched from work, so don't say anything. I already planned for that. I have face mask, and we're going to be outside. But as soon as we see the dust, we'll just jump in. And that's what I've done in the past. I'm prepared for that.
Reporting from a makeshift tailgating party along Haven and Mandalay Bay, I'm Sean Dowling. Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
And we are just getting started this morning. You can see we are getting closer. Up next, we look back at her final days with guests and hear what they will miss most about the Tropicana.
And another look from our live cameras. We have you covered. We will be right back. So this is the view we all know and love. The historic hotel and casino opened in April 1957, went through some upgrades through the years before closing its doors this past April, just 2 days shy of turning 67. We caught up with some folks then and asked them what they will miss most.
Obviously, it's one of the oldest casinos on the Strip.
It was dubbed the Tiffany of the Strip for its highly manicured appearance. When the Tropicana opened its doors in 1957, it was Las Vegas's most expensive resort, costing $15 million to build. Eddie Fisher starred in the opening night festivities, although the 60-foot tulip fountain is long gone.
A little rundown inside, but it's still a lot of history.
My main focus was the stained glass because I never knew that there was an upper level to get photos of it, and so that was my biggest thing.
Every time you come to Vegas, you see the Tropicana, and for it not to be here anymore, it's going to be kind of just like weird.
Tropicana is so iconic. I mean, you got a whole street named after it. This is just a piece of Vegas, and you can't just let it go without saying something about it, just paying homage to it in some way, whether you're getting a final look at it and final experience.
It's like a long-lasting relic, and just we definitely wanted to see it before it's no longer here.
And there is a church near the Tropicana that also has seen a rich history. They are front and center to it all this morning. Our Kim Passoff is there with how they're saying goodbye to their longtime neighbor.
Yeah, this is the largest Catholic church throughout the entire Las Vegas area. It can hold more than 2,000 people, and it's one of the closest neighbors to the Trop. And tonight, cleanup crews are staging here as well. We're told that they're going through that exclusion zone right after the blast. Church officials are here, too, to monitor the dust that's expected. The entire time that the church has been here, so too has the Trop. But come tomorrow, that longtime neighbor next to the church will be gone to make way for the next.
Well, I remember when you could drive up the Strip much more quickly than you can now.
When the Shrine of the Most Holy Redeemer opened in 1993, the south end of the Strip was booming. The Luxor had just opened, and another new neighbor would soon be built.
When this church was 3 years old in 1996, when the Hacienda Hotel, that had been there for a long time, was imploded. Another resort, the Mandalay Bay, would rise in its place.
Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Las Vegas, Gregory Gordon, says as the Strip continued to grow, so too did the need for a church to serve millions of tourists, many staying across the street at the Trop.
Most of our churches in Las Vegas are parish churches. They're families. But this is a shrine, not a parish, so it doesn't have any resident parishioners.
This house of God was a safe haven to people of all faiths during Vegas's darkest night. When a gunman opened fire on the Route 91 festival grounds next door, people running and hiding behind these cinder block walls.
It was precisely there that many sought refuge and protection on that terrible night. So this really did become a sanctuary.
No bullets hit the church itself. But in front of the doors, where there's a statue of Jesus, arms outstretched, a few bullets believed to have ricocheted from the venue were found. Now, with another moment in Vegas history ahead, Bishop Gordon says there are prayers of gratitude for so many good years next to the Trop and prayers of hope for what is to come.
I think Las Vegas has had a beautiful way and record of adapting.
And though the church is open to the public every day, this area is shut down for the implosion. But we're told that all the dust will be cleaned up this morning and they will be back open to the public for Mass this afternoon at 12:10 p.m. Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
We are getting closer, some 20 minutes now until the real action begins. This is another live look at the Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard. Take a good look because this time tomorrow night, they won't be there, will they?
20 minutes and 7 seconds, and they are gone. We'll keep watching it for you. This is a live picture. Thanks for staying up late, or should I say this morning?
Yeah, getting up early at least. Great to have you here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
state-of-the-art ballpark that will be home to Major League Baseball and the Athletics.
You're watching Fox 5 special coverage of the Tropicana implosion, sponsored by United Nissan.
A live look right now at a ceremony of sorts happening right now near the grounds of where the Tropicana stands.
Local leaders speaking right now. Let's listen in.
A cornerstone of the Strip since 1957. Ben Jaffe, a businessman from Miami, had a vision to have a new standard for opulence in Las Vegas. And he succeeded. The Tropicana earned the nickname the Tiffany of the Strip. And for its luxurious design, it attracted an elite crowd of high rollers, celebrities, and legends who walked its halls and filled the casino. Tropicana made history and built a foundation for the Las Vegas Strip of today. Folies Bergère graced the Tropicana stage for an incredible 50 years, forever commemorating the Las Vegas showgirl, an enduring icon of the city's allure. I want to take a moment to honor the thousands of people who made the place what it is, the team members. The Tropicana didn't just stand on the Strip because of its architecture, it stood because of the people. I had the privilege of working with many of you over the last 15 years, and it's something I'll never forget. So tonight, we bid farewell to this chapter of the Tropicana Las Vegas. And let's not think of it as an ending, but as the beginning of something even greater. The legacy of the Icon Resort will always be with us, and the future holds even more excitement and opportunities. Congratulations to Bally's and the Athletics. The next Icon will stand here in 2028. Thank you. Commissioner Gibson.
A few remarks there ahead of the implosion scheduled to happen now as the clock ticks down. And we are your source for all the action here this morning. We have you covered from every angle as we wait for both those two towers to fall. And there's also another little party going on along with a little Vegas vibe along with it. So let's check in again with Jacqueline Schultz out there. Jacqueline.
Celebrating tonight is all about nostalgia, and there's nothing more nostalgic than Las Vegas Showgirls from Legends in Concert, which ran at the Tropicana for 41 years before it closed earlier this year, alongside a 57 Chevy. Ain't she a beaut? They're all beautiful, from the Showgirls to the vehicle. Now let's take a look at where folks in this VIP party, from casino executives to folks with the ballpark to various public officials, they can say and take a photo with the sign of a final farewell of the Tropicana. You see the beautiful A's logo right here, all lit up, very Vegas style. They can sit in the bleachers right there. They can have a drink, as you see at the bar, and also there's some cool areas right there, couches for them to sit on too. They can be very comfortable. A few hundred people are going to come out here. They're all going to have to wear earplugs and masks during the implosion, though. Now, before I let you go, take a look at how very vintage Vegas this is. Folies Bergère, the show that was at the Tropicana for decades. We will send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you. And speaking of, the Vegas showgirl was born at the Trop, and now let's take a look back at her legacy. Check it out.
This was the Tiffany of Las Vegas, the Tropicana. That's what they called it. Showgirl was a big thing here. But when I first seen them, wow, you seen the follies, the girls coming down real gently, stilettos on those heels, carrying 60 pounds of feathers. But they were very good at coming down those stairs. They were very professional. They had a live band.
Well, the Folies Bergère was very important to our city. It arrived here in 1959 and stayed open for almost 50 years. Nowadays, people's daughters and granddaughters come to see pictures of their grandmothers and mothers on display in the Folies Bergère. We have that many generations now that have descended from our early 1959 performers.
This is what I did.
Rhinestones and sequins and glitter, and it was like a lifelong dream.
There was a dresser for every two girls. They were back there helping us on the side of the stage. There was no time to go to the dressing room.
Las Vegas is the entertainment capital, and this was a big chapter in the history.
12 minutes now. The final countdown is well underway. When we come back, we're getting a drone and fireworks show and our final look as she gets ready to take her final bow. Okay, we're taking a live look here now at the ceremony happening ahead of the drone and fireworks show. We expect that to get underway as soon as the presentations are done here. So let's listen in for a sec.
So for those of you who don't know it, the Paseo Verde team out of Henderson made it to the Little League World Series this year. And on the final game in winning their division to qualify for the Little League Series, Wyatt Erickson threw a no-hitter. And this is the second year in a row when a team from Henderson has made it to the Little League World Series. They ultimately lost to a team from Florida, but I just think it's an incredible achievement to do this 2 years in a row. And I just want to clap and congratulate these guys. You know, because ultimately baseball is a game that little kids play. And however old they are, they're little kids. If you turn on the TV and you watch the playoffs, they are little kids out there. Bryce Harper, one of the greatest players to come out of Las Vegas, he is so competitive and he just wants to do nothing more than win out there. And if you, whether it's the Little League team, I got to hurry this up. In any case, whether it's the Little League team or our AAA affiliates or our own team, Mark Kotze here is our manager of our team. Ricky Henderson, one of the greatest, maybe the greatest athletic of all time, is here today. I want to thank the commissioner, and especially I want to thank Sue Kim and Bally's, Peter Carlino, and GLPI. If it wasn't for these guys, we absolutely would not be here. And to honor
stay here because people are on.
Sue,
it's going to be great for TV because if you're right in.
I want to present him with a #1 athletics jersey. Thank you.
look at that dust cloud. What a show that was.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
On that one, that was Las Vegas sending out the Trop in style. That was impressive.
That was a really impressive show. I've seen a few of these implosions living here for a while, but I got to say that was a memorable one, especially with the drones.
Yeah, that was great. You saw this Vegas sign, Tropicana, the chip, which was really cool. And then we saw the A's and the ball. You talked about this, the ball rolling, baseball rolling.
Right. So no pressure, A's. We put on this big show for you. They'll play in Sacramento for a few years while the stadium is built, and then they'll come down here. Hopefully in 2028 they can get things rolling. But they're also going to build a big hotel on the site as well. But yeah, we're saying goodbye to really a strip icon. It's such a fitting farewell when you consider the Tropicana's role here in Las Vegas, especially when it opened in the late 50s, 1957. Foley Bergère 2 years later, and just you had the Rat Pack. Sammy Davis Jr. was an investor into the Tropicana, becoming the first African American man to really own a part of a casino here in Las Vegas. So, I mean, it's history. It's just a part of old Vegas that is now gone. And, people like progress, but it is kind of sad to see that. But we'd love to blow stuff up here and move along and build something bigger and grander. But there's always a part of that it's like, well, now it's just going to be a part of the archives that we get from, the History Center.
Well, the folks we were talking to in the last week or so talked about, tearing it down piece by piece. There was that discussion. They would have gone from the top down, and that would have taken, I think they said 22, 23 weeks, but then it was like, no, this is Vegas. We need a show. They like shows in Vegas. So, and that is what we just saw. A great show. You talked about saying goodbye to an old friend, but we welcome in a new one, and that's A's Baseball and the A's Stadium. And John, you won't forget this one because it fell, pun intended, on your birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, John Huck.
Thank you very much. I'm not that much older than the Flamingo, from the Tropicana.
You have to go younger, like 10 years or so.
Hopefully they don't implode me for a while. But thanks for that. But just, again, you couldn't, just getting back to your point though, driving down the strip, you'd see the skeleton of the Tropicana, and then you think, that's kind of depressing. So I think you had to do something like this to kind of, bring some finality to it.
Yeah, nice job, Vegas. That was well done. That was fun to watch.
Done. And we'll see what happens. We'll follow the progress down there. And, of course, our reporting will begin fresh and new at 4 a.m. with the Fox 5 morning crew. But we thank you so much for being here with us this early morning.
And now the Tropicana is no more. Let's end our show with one last look inside when she was shining bright. Have a good night.